What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I am Dial here with a classic movie review. Today, we're going to be talking about Beverly Hills Cop from 1984, starring Eddie Murphy. So, apparently, Netflix is releasing a fourth installment of this Beverly Hills Cop franchise. So, I'm going to go back and watch the previous three films because I have never seen Beverly Hills Cop. That's right, I have never seen it. This is my first time watching it. So you're going to get my first genuine thoughts on these films. So let's not waste any more time. Let's talk about the first Beverly Hills Cop. So I love Eddie Murphy. I think he's great. The majority of films that I love him in. However, there are some roles that he's taken over the past few years that I have not been a fan of, and I get a similar feeling with him that I feel like with someone like Jim Carrey, because I love Jim Carrey as well. I think these two are some of my favorite comedic actors, but there will be times where they take certain roles that are a little too ridiculous, a little too over the top. So sometimes it could be an acquired taste, but when he's great, he is great. So I never thought he would actually do like a cop action movie. I never thought he would do that. I know there was like a phase like around the 70s, 80s where he's been trying different, types of genres, and it's very hit or miss. But yeah, I mean, I've heard of Beverly Hills Cop before, in the pop culture, but I never really had a chance to watch any of them. I don't really know their impact on the film landscape. But I'm interested in seeing this because I love Eddie Murphy, and I'm actually interested to see what he would do in a cop action movie. Because he is an underrated serious actor. If you give him a serious role, like he could knock it out of the park. I think he could do drama really well. He doesn't always have to resort to comedy, but though these movies I do hear that they are action comedies as well, so it's probably more in line of what we usually see from him, but him in an action role. So let's see how he does. So I sat down and watched the first Beverly Hills Cop on Paramount Plus, and it's good. Yeah, I liked it. um yeah, I thought it was a very solid action comedy. It's pretty much what I expected. Um, yeah, I don't think this movie was great or anything. I didn't think it was like mind blowing. I mean, it's no Lethal Weapon, it's no Die Hard. But it was good. It was good. Honestly, if Eddie Murphy wasn't in this film, it probably would have just been another generic action film. But Eddie Murphy does like his charisma, his personality, and his comedic bits in this film actually helped it to make it seem a little bit more standoutish a little bit. But as far as the plot, it's stuff that I've seen from other like crime movies, action movies. It's nothing like really groundbreaking, really. What I do like personally is that I like that the main character, Eddie's character, Axel Foley, is from Detroit. So it's great to get some Detroit representation in this film. Which it kind of confused me at first because the movie's called Beverly Hills Cop. So why are we following a cop that's from Detroit? But then we find out that he ends up going to Beverly Hills and stuff like that to figure out this murder mystery, whatever. So okay, that's fine. I wish they could have just called the film, Detroit Cop. Actually, just saying that doesn't sound as appealing as Beverly Hills Cop. So it's whatever. Fun fact though, I did hear that Mickey Rourke and Sylvester Stallone were the first runner-ups to play Axel. So that was very interesting how they went from Mickey Rourke to Sylvester Stallone to Eddie Murphy. That's very, very interesting. But Axel Foley, I thought he was he was good. I do like him. He's very entertaining. He's very charismatic. What I do appreciate about him is that he's not just he's not like a joke, in this. Like he's actually very competent with being a cop, you know. So that's one of the things I was worried about. Is they were going to make him a little bit of a fool, that he doesn't know what he's doing, or he barely knows how to fight or shoot a gun. That's not the case at all. Axel Foley is actually a very competent cop. He knows how to defend himself. He shoots very, very well. And he's actually a little bit more clever than the other cops that he has to work with. Like, he knows how to think outside the box. He's street smart, and that becomes a very prominent thing in the film. It's like, because all the other cops want to go buy the book and stuff like that, and he feels like the only way to get the job done is if he doesn't work by the book, and he has to do other means. So that stuff I kind of liked. Um, as far as the supporting cast, I think like probably the main two that are like that's worthy to talking about is Judge Reynolds and John Ashton, as William and John. They were cool. They were like they were like playing the good cop bad cop type of thing. Because like William is more the nicer cop and like is a little bit more understanding and stuff like that, and then John's just the hard ass that like is super serious and like wants to do everything by the book. So I mean, as far as them playing off of Axel, it was some funny moments here and there. One of my favorite scenes is when they went to the strip club. That whole thing, I thought that was entertaining. But yeah, then they end up having good chemistry, all of them together, and end up working together by the end. So that was pretty good. Jeanette, who is one of Axel's friends in this, she was fine. She was cool. She ended up kind of being a damsel in distress by the end, which is something I kind of expected. But at least in the beginning of the film, she actually was helping Axel to recover clues and like try to get into different areas and stuff like that. So she actually was useful in the plot. But as far as character wise, not as much there. As far as the plot itself, it's just Axel trying to solve a mystery of who murdered his friend. When he came into Detroit, and just like these I don't know, these mob bosses come into his apartment and kills his friend because he's part of a drug smuggling thing. And it's nothing super amazing about the plot. Like, it's competent enough, like there's enough of a motivation where I care what's going on. But it's like didn't spend too much with Axel's friend to actually make it feel as personal as they wanted it to. But it's fine. It's fine. There is some dim-witted stuff in the movie. Like, there's quite a few times where Axel is trying to get into a high establishment, and all he has to do is pretend that he's somebody else and yell at people really loud, and start making like these make up scenarios about how he knows more important people to get him into these higher up status places. And that's happened quite a few times in the film, and I just couldn't help but roll my eyes, because it's like you would actually do these guys ever do background checks on people? Like, you're just going with Axel's word whenever he pretends to be somebody else. It's like the people in here ended up acting a little bit dumb in places. I don't know how he got away with that like 3 times in the film. It's really silly. And now some people may make the excuse that, oh, it's the 80s, people were more naive back then. Were they though? It just came off really silly and over the top. It's just like you cannot be falling for this every freaking time. Also, I'm sorry. This is not with the character itself, but it's Eddie Murphy himself. He has this laugh in the movie. It's such a weird laugh. He goes, I'm like, why is he laughing like that? Like, okay, like I guess you want to make him kind of an awkward person, but he's not really an awkward person. He seems pretty confident in himself and charismatic. Why is he laughing like that? It's like, I'm like, oh, dude, no, I don't know if that's like a actual thing or is that an Eddie Murphy thing? I don't know because I don't remember Eddie Murphy laughing like that in his other films. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. The people can tell me if like does he laugh like that? Because I don't think like it was very distracting. Um, and as far as the villain, typical mob boss stuff. And maybe I'm being a little more harsh on this because I just reviewed the Bad Boys films and like the first two, like they had the typical drug lord plot, and I'm just tired of that, you know. But this villain is not very memorable in this either. He's just another generic boss, you know, mob boss. I don't know, another plot with cocaine, you know. So it's whatever. What I will say is the action scenes are done really well. There was actually a really cool practical truck chase sequence that was very good. Um, like all that was like they actually had actual cars, they actually had an actual truck crashing into things. Like all those were practical stunts, and I appreciate seeing that. And the shootouts in this I thought was pretty good as well. Um, but yeah, so overall this movie's good. Um, like I said, I don't think it's amazing, but you know, there's enough good stuff in here where I'm interested to see more from this franchise. Um, you know, I thought Eddie Murphy as Axel was a pretty good character. I do think it was kind of silly how he was able to outsmart cops and you know higher up establishments so easily. All you got to do is like just say you're a different person, yell very loudly, and claim that you know more powerful people to get them in trouble. Like that's all you got to do, and you easily could put bananas in somebody's tailpipe in the car to make them stop, so they won't be able to drive. Like how does nobody see that? Like it's that type of stuff. I thought William and John were cool, you know, supporting characters. You know, the good cop bad cop scenario thought with them was pretty good. Thought Jeanette was fine. Um, Action was pretty well done. The music in here, they like to play a lot of 80s pop songs in here, especially the action scenes. I thought that was a little distracting. Or I keep hearing the do 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 do. They played that all throughout the film, and I'm like, can you play some other music, please? Or you play some pop songs like "Gotta Stir It Up." They played that song at least 3 or 4 times in this, and I'm like, can we play a different pop song, please? But overall, it's a fun movie. It's good. You know, it's a good time. If you love Eddie Murphy, you'll like this film. If you like action movies, you like Lethal Weapon, you like Die Hard, you want to mix some comedy in there, it's definitely the movie for you. But you know, I don't think this is a mind blowing film. It's just solid. I'll give it a B. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling with this. Just a B. It's good, not great. But those are my thoughts on Beverly Hills Cop. What did you guys think about it? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys think it was okay? Did you enjoy Eddie Murphy in this role? Comment your thoughts down below and let me know. So the next film I will be talking about is Beverly Hills Cop 2, so tune in for that when it comes out. But if you guys enjoyed this, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit the bell if you want to be notified on future videos I'll be doing. But that's all I have for you Eddie Murphy fans, and I'll catch you guys next time. Talk to you guys later. Got to stir it up. Got to...